Hey everybody, Angel Arts here, and I wanted to take the time to give you guys a channel update because I haven't done one in quite a long time. The very first thing, I've got a list right here, so I'm going to try to get through them as quickly as possible. The first thing I wanted to let everybody know is that yes, I'm aware that episode 3 of Tales from the Borderlands is coming out tomorrow. That's Tuesday, June 23rd. And yes, I am going to be live streaming it again. I will be live streaming the game on Friday, June 26th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Again, I know that that is unfortunately a very inconvenient time for a lot of people, especially for those of you who are in the European areas and beyond. But unfortunately, that time is really the only time that I'm going to be able to live stream anything for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So as always, I am of course going to be recording it and I will be posting it as soon as I'm able to. And hopefully you guys will be able to check it out if you're not able to come for the actual thing live. But for those of you who can come, as always, I'd love to have you because I'm at the edge of my seat wondering what's gonna happen to the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger, you guys saw the episode, so anyway. Which brings me to this next thing. The reason why I'm not going to be able to live stream for the next 2 or 3 weeks or so is because I'm getting married on the 4th of July. So because of that, I'm going to try my hardest to continue posting videos, one video at least a day, throughout the next couple of weeks. But if there seems to be a little bit of a hiatus, if I miss a couple days here and there, that's the reason why. I apologize. I hope you understand. Yeah, life happens and wedding is kind of a big deal, and I feel like I have to keep my priorities, at least for this one, straight. So that being said, I want to give a quick shout out to Arid88. Arid gave me a really sweet drawing the other day, which I wanted to recognize him for. I just wanted to tell Arid personally, thank you so much for taking the time to draw that. It was such a generous gift coming from you, spending your time and efforts to make something that I really love, Harry Potter and Pikachu. Like, who would have thought, you know? So there's that. A couple of other things I wanted to post on stuff that have sort of been on hiatus. Speaking of hiatuses, see, I'm trying to have smooth transitions from one thing to another, completely unplanned. A lot of people are wondering when is the next EarthBound coming out, because it's been a long time since I've posted the last one. As a matter of fact, I believe this week the voice actors, the main 4 voice actors, are recording the final episode. They've been working really hard over the last several months. And really the main reason why I haven't been able to release an EarthBound video lately is because we've been having scheduling problems. The voice actors have been having scheduling issues, like one right after the other, over the course of the last 3 months. Every single time they find time to record together, something comes up, life comes up. So it's just been really tough for them to get me their recordings because I can't make another episode until I get all of their recordings. But I believe that they are planning on wrapping all of their recordings up together this Friday, this week. So hopefully I'll be able to release another EarthBound episode in the very near future. I'm hoping before I disappear to get married, but if not, expect it sometime as soon as I can in July, as soon as I'm able to. Speaking of other scheduling issues, the Dragon Age RPG campaign. Now, my Mass Effect RPG campaign has been going strong and I've been trying to post those videos regularly, at least one session every other week, as I find time, because right now I'm at a point in my life where things are kind of tight and really stressful at the moment, trying to get every last minute things done. But for the Dragon Age RPG campaign, again, we've been having scheduling issues. We have not actually had the final session. We've not had the finale session of our Dragon Age RPG campaign, but I just sent out an email this evening contacting Lucky Jack Shalley, Pixel Prattle, and David, formerly known as Reclusiarch, to schedule once and for all our final session so that we can finish the campaign, because I know a lot of you are dying to find out how this entire story resolves. We are going to end it as promised, and hopefully we'll be able to do our session next month, because I'm not going to have time to do it, or at the latest in August. So expect to close out that storyline hopefully in August or September is my goal. So my apologies again for those of you who've been waiting so patiently for the resolution of that series. As far as what am I planning on doing next in the near future, so Sherlock Holmes is starting to end. I'm still, of course, going to continue posting my gay replay of Dragon Age Inquisition with Andy Kadesh. But after Sherlock Holmes, I have been wanting for years to finally sit down and play the Back to the Future game again from Telltale Games. Telltale's Back to the Future, because Back to the Future, the trilogy, is one of my favorite trilogies of all time, next to Toy Story. And I just seeing how this is the year 2015. 2015 has a great significance to the Back to the Future series. It's at least in Back to the Future 2. So I thought it'd be fitting for me to play through that game this year, and just see some of it. I've been meaning to play some of the older games that Telltale put out before they became more of a household name, before they released their Walking Dead series, because believe it or not, Telltale has been making a lot of very successful games even before Walking Dead. It's just The Walking Dead was their launching pad to becoming more well-known and well-renowned within the gaming community. The other thing I'm going to be doing next is a new collab, because I've been wanting to collaborate with people for a while, and it's just, again, as you can imagine, things with my life have been really busy lately, so I haven't really been able to schedule anything like that seriously. But I am going to be playing the Trine series. I believe Trine 1 and Trine 2 are both already out, and I think Trine 3 is in semi-beta, sort of, and will be coming out shortly at some point. So I am going to be playing the Trine series with my buddy and pal Riz Grestar, as well as my good friend, it's Jace, who is a rising YouTuber. If you guys missed his interview, his Let's Hang interview, I'll post a link somewhere, maybe over there, maybe over there. Yeah, that's a good spot over there, for you to be able to check him out. I personally think that he deserves more views and more subscribers. If you are able to, please go and check out some of his stuff. Let him take some time to let him know what you like and maybe some things that he can do to improve. He's trying very hard to be a successful YouTuber, and I think some very constructive criticism he'll appreciate, as well as if you also, pair that constructive criticism with comments on what he does well. I think that would go a long way to help encourage him. Because I personally think he deserves it. But anyway, the three of us are hopefully going to be able to play Trine and get some of that collaborative videos up as soon as possible. The last announcement I wanted to make is I need help deciding what to play after that. After I play Back to the Future, I'm trying to get some feedback on what you guys want me to play next. A lot of you have been sending me a lot of suggestions, and I have been writing your suggestions down. And from the long list of suggestions that people have been giving me, I picked out my top 4 choices that I am most interested in playing in the near future, and I just wanted to see if you guys can vote / provide your insider feedback on which one I should play next. So, probably one of the most requested games that people have been asking me to play is the Persona series. And I was actually really bent on just playing the Persona series, just by default, without even asking for feedback on it, because the premise of it just sounded really fun and really cool, and it sounded like my kind of game. The problem is, I realize that it is a console game. Unless somebody can correct me, it's not. They didn't make a PC version of any of the Persona games yet. And it's not the end of the world, it's just my capture card, unfortunately, is very finicky. If I ever try to use my capture card to record console games, PlayStation games, it has a tendency to crash every so often, and when it crashes, I immediately lose everything that I had recorded during that session, which is a huge pain in the butt. This was a big problem for me when I was recording the Resident Evil 6 series as well as The Last of Us, in particularly because with those games I can't manually save. They auto-save on me, which means that if something crashes, there was definitely a couple of cases where I was about to finish, my normal 30 minutes of recording, only to have it crash on me, which means that I have to then go all the way back to even before I had started recording that session, because there wasn't really a nice place that it had auto-saved before, so I have to go way back and sometimes redo up to an hour of gameplay in order to re-record what I had lost. And there was one time where I had to repeat that 2 or 3 times before I finally got it and kept it. So it's really aggravating and really frustrating. And when it happens often enough, quite frankly, it makes it very hard to have fun playing on a console game when I'm desperately trying and hoping and praying that each time I hit the record button that it doesn't crash on me before I have a chance to stop hitting the record button. So that's not going to necessarily stop me from doing the Persona series, but it's something that I'm worried a little bit about doing. So if that does hands down become the most requested game for me to play next, I will do everything in my power to make it work. So then the next question then becomes, which of the Persona series games should I start with? Because I don't think right now I'll be able to have time to necessarily play all 4 of the games anytime soon. I realistically will have time to play 1 or 2. So if I am going to be playing 1 or 2, should I start with Persona 3? Or should I start and jump in with Persona 4? There seems to be a lot of debate on whether or not I should play Persona 3 or Persona 4. Voice your opinions. For those of you who are pushing for Persona, let me know what you think. And so that is suggestion or candidate number 1. Candidate number 2 is Dreamfall Chapters, which is the latest in the, I believe, Longest Journey series. It's a point-and-click kind of game. Dreamfall Chapters was actually a game I have to give a shout out to Jamie Esparza. Jamie Esparza is one of my viewers who actually gifted me the Dreamfall Chapters game, the latest game, so thank you so much, Jamie, for that. I really appreciate it. I would love to get around to playing it, and I figured if I'm going to play it, I might as well LP it. And I'm wondering if it's worth me trying to play from the first of the series, like the Longest Journey, I think is the first series, and I think there was another one after that before we get to the Dreamfall Chapters game. So if that's a game that you guys really want me to play, over the other candidates, let me know, and I'll take that into higher consideration. The third game that I've been wanting to play for a while, because I've heard so many really good things about it, is Valiant Hearts. I know that There's been several people who have been asking me to play Valiant Hearts. I know it's not that long of a game, probably compared to the other 4. I think this is the shortest of them, which, you know, does give it make it a good candidate for me to play because I can just do it and then move on to something else. I mean, you know, don't let that necessarily be the deciding factor on whether or not you think I should play that next. But I do want to play Valiant Hearts at some point because of how much very positive feedback people have been giving it. And last but not least, I wanted to play the Resident Evil Revelations games, both the Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2. I think the second one is a co-op, so it would be really cool for me to be able to play with someone, to LP it with someone co-op, but I'll probably gonna start with 1 and work my way over to 2. This is pretty much, the Resident Evil series is probably the closest that you'll ever get to see me actually playing a whole game through, a scary/thriller game all the way through. Well, I guess Heavy Rain is considered a thriller, but in terms of like survival horror, I'm not really much of a scary horror game kind of person, but for some reason Resident Evil like has a very special place in my heart, and I have a tendency to make that the exception to the rule. Because the last Resident Evil game I played was Resident Evil 6, which is like a year and a half or a couple of years ago, and I've been wanting to play Revelations for a while, just because it stars, the first one stars Jill Valentine, and the second one has the return of Barry Burton, who's awesome. Barry Burton all the way from Resident Evil 1. And as well as I think Claire Redfield. Claire Redfield is one of my favorite heroines of the series. So that is candidate number 4. So again, the suggestions are Persona, either 3 or 4, doesn't matter. Like we'll talk about that if it ends up being the one that's chosen. Dreamfall Chapters / the Longest Journey series, Valiant Hearts, and Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2. So please provide your feedback. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, so thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying summer. If you're on summer vacation, I hope you have a very awesome, relaxing, and semi-constructive summer. I guess I will talk to you guys later. Maybe perhaps at the live stream this Friday. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, love yourselves and love each other.